Hey.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Wicked Mysterious.
I'm your host, Danie.
And I'm Katie. And this is... We just did that together. That was so cute. This is episode number... 3.
Sorry, this
Don't
is 3.
short us. We're working hard for this.
We are working so hard for this. We are professionals now.
So, are you excited?
I am excited.
I am too. I really love the story you chose.
I'm a little bit nervous. Do you know anything about this story?
Yes, I do recall last year I did listen to a few different things on this. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I'm
okay.
disappointed.
I'm not going to remember all the little details. You know that.
I didn't know all the little details.
Right.
So there's a lot.
There's a lot to uncover, I'm sure.
Yeah. So have you seen
The Faces?
what we're
Yes.
gonna talk about?
Yes.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about the Belmez Faces, which takes place in Spain.
Ooh.
And this story is brought to us by my dad. So what's up, Dad? My dad is a faithful listener of Wicked Mysterious.
What's up? What's up, Danny's dad? Thanks for listening.
So when I was growing up, my dad had this book called Strange Stories, Amazing Facts. And it was by Reader's Digest. And it came out in 1976. And it terrified me.
Oh, and you have vivid memories of looking through this book?
I actually own this book now.
Oh.
And it's about different unsolved mysteries and strange phenomena and stuff like that.
Love it.
So I remember flipping through it when I was a kid and seeing the picture of the face.
Oh.
And it disturbed me. And I haven't forgotten it because it's just so freaky looking.
Yeah, it totally is. It's definitely a really interesting case.
Yes. So thank you, Dad.
Thanks, Danny's dad. What's your dad's name?
Russ.
Thanks, Russ. I want to sound more personable,
So in 1971, in a house in Spain, there was a family. It was 52-year-old Maria Gomez Camara, her son Miguel Pereira, and her husband Juan.
Okay.
So on August 23rd, 1971, the Pereira family began experiencing a strange phenomena. Maria noticed a stain on her concrete kitchen floor, and over the next few days, an image of a human face began appearing.
Yeah, and it was wasn't that the first one was the iconic one? Is it that they kind of, it's known for?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think actually the second one is the more famous one.
Is it? Yeah.
I
think the first one might have been a little bit harder to...
Well, they appeared and disappeared a lot, which we'll get into, but...
Mm-hmm. So weird.
One of them had a name. They called it translated to the kettle.
Okay.
Which I couldn't... There's not a whole lot of... There's a lot of information, but also not a whole lot of information. When I looked for specific things like why it was called that, I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So as she scrubbed the stain, the image began becoming more and more clear. So at this time, Maria also began to have some health issues. She was ill, but contributed to the symptoms of a fever.
Because you can be wicked delusional with a fever.
Yes. So a few days later, her son Miguel and her husband Juan removed the floor with pickaxes and replaced it.
Getting shit done.
On September 8th, a new face showed up in the same spot on the concrete floor.
That's bizarre.
So the first one was August 23rd, second one September 8th.
Wow,
so
that's really
weeks.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
They thought they were in the clear. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, they weren't. So at this point, the mayor of Belmez became involved and told the family that they could not destroy the floor again. And instead, the new face was cut out of the floor and placed behind protective glass. On November 2nd, that happened.
Wow.
When this excavation occurred, they found human remains under the floor. They found skeletons without heads.
Wow. See, I don't remember this. This is good. Okay.
The
wow.
removal of the human remains did not stop the faces from appearing. In fact, in less than a year, the house became a tourist attraction known as La Casa de las Caras. Sorry, my Spanish is pretty terrible. The House of the Faces.
So cool.
New faces appeared about once a month during the first year.
Wow. Once a month. And they were all over the place, different locations.
I'm pretty sure they were mostly in the kitchen.
Okay, yeah. Yep, that makes sense. I remember that now. It was like the dining room, kitchen area, right?
Yeah, so on the floor and I believe on the walls.
On the walls too?
I think so. I might be wrong, but it looked like it.
Yeah.
Faces appeared and reappeared and often changed appearance. They also changed in front of the eyes of witnesses.
What?
Faces seemed to reflect both Maria's physical and mental health. But the faces did not stop when she died in 2004. In fact, new faces emerged in the house she was born in after her death.
Really?
However, these faces have been attributed to hoax.
Okay, so the newer ones. Okay.
They think the newer ones were hoaxed.
Now, I don't know if you're going to get into it, but was there something about her that people speculated that she may have had like powers, like witchy things? Are you going to get into that? Okay. Yeah. I remember that. Okay.
So when this first started happening and it became such a big tourist attraction in the town, the police began investigating. So this is what I thought was really interesting. A group led by a skeptic also investigated, though their findings were not made public, and the leader of the group has kept his records personal. And he was a skeptic, so why he hasn't come out with hard proof that this was faked or whatever, I don't know.
Right.
The Guardia Civil, or the Civil Guard, which is the oldest law enforcement agency in Spain, also investigated because they were interested in, quote, maintaining public order. So it really makes you think that because this location was so popular, they felt the need to maintain public order. So when something unexplainable happens, what happens to the public?
Right.
So if you think about it in the way of like UFOs and whatever other shit they're hiding from us.
If they told us how we would react, right.
So they're keeping the secret purposely because people can't handle the unknown.
Right.
Or
the truth.
The truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So an officer of the Guardia Civil lived across the street from the Pereira family home. Police were present in the home almost every day and were present during investigations by other sources. The faces caused so much civil unrest that the government pressured a tabloid paper into publishing a false narrative that the faces were in fact a hoax, titling the article, "The Mystery is Solved."
I hate that shit.
But then a guy named, I'm sorry for the pronunciation, Germain de Argumosa.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Germain de Argumosa was a parapsychologist. So parapsychology is the study of mental phenomena which are excluded from or inexplicable by other orthodox scientific psychology, such as hypnosis, telepathy, etc.
Okay.
So this guy began investigating in February 1972, at which point the government confirmed that they could not prove the faces as a hoax.
Good.
Argumosa agreed to study the phenomena and write a report of his findings for the governor. He partnered with someone named Hans Bender, and together they collected EVP samples and got video of ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm?
I believe ectoplasm is like a physical... Isn't that like the goo in Ghostbusters?
Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, let's look it up.
Okay.
Ghost goo?
Ectoplasm. The more viscous, clear outer layer of the cytoplasm in amoeboid cells, or a supernatural viscous substance that is supposed to exude from the body of a medium during a spiritualistic trance and form the material for the manifestation of spirits. So that's probably more, it would be the second, probably. Interesting. Wow.
So I searched high and low for these EVP samples, and I could not find it anywhere.
Yeah, that's wicked bizarre. Like, I don't know why I say the word bizarre when I record all the time. I never say that word in real life, ever.
Well, because we're talking about bizarre stuff.
I guess, yeah. It's wicked mysterious.
Very mysterious. So, yeah, I couldn't find the EVP samples anywhere. I don't know if they exist. I looked everywhere for them. I think it's cool to think about if you can't hear something and you record and then you hear something that nobody else heard. Live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that's cool. But it's one of those things where it's like you're going to hear what you want to hear and everybody's going to hear something different. So I don't put that much stock into EVP.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Well, I remember hearing this audio, actually.
Oh, really?
I do remember hearing this audio.
Interesting.
And I believe it was described, and I don't have the greatest memory, you know that, but I want to say, you can look it up, that it was described of like, it was like the sounds of hell is what it was like summed up to, and something else too. But when I listened to it, it did have an extremely eerie undertone of like screams. Like it's really good. If there's a way for us to get that audio and actually put it in here, maybe, like, I don't know if we can.
Yeah, I'll look for it and we can add
maybe
it in
like
if I can find it.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. So, but it definitely adds a huge creep factor to this.
Yeah.
Because to know that there was these EVPs also done, and to hear what transpired, it makes you wonder really if this was manifestation of spiritual,
Yeah, so I think...
or the dead that are underneath the ground.
Hearing something like that is so much different than hearing a voice saying something and you trying to determine what it's saying. That's different.
True, yes.
Because if it's like really just scary sounds and screaming,
yeah,
I mean,
that's so
just
different.
Yeah,
it's
so
super
creepy.
eerie.
Yeah.
And it almost sounds like it's coming from like thousands and thousands and thousands of feet below. Like it's really eerie. Yeah.
So once this guy Argumosa got involved, he tried all sorts of different experiments, but they all failed for one reason or another. So in June 1972, he sealed the floor with plexiglass so no one could get under it, and an image still appeared but disappeared before a picture could be taken.
Wow. So that just proves right there that it's definitely not man-made. It was protected by the plexiglass, and it appeared and left.
But
like,
you could just playing role of skeptic.
Yeah, and that's
if
good.
There's no picture, we don't know that it actually happened. But
true.
Just saying that's one of the reasons it failed. Mm-hmm. So they tried again with plastic sheets that eventually had to be removed due to health concerns, so probably mold or something. It has said something about like liquid under there. Bender gave instructions on how to unseal the floor, but because he couldn't be there for some reason, he was in another country, so he gave them specific instructions on how to do this experiment so that it wouldn't, fail again.
Right.
So despite his instruction, they neglected to have a notary there. Nevertheless, the room was sealed for the night to dry, and new faces were on the floor the next day.
Crazy.
Photographs, again, were not able to be developed because the developing agent was bad or the film was overexposed.
Yeah, and this was what
70s.
Right, 1970.
They also tried to video record the faces, but ran into technical issues there too. In 1973, a group of 150 students visited the home, and 30 of them, including Bender, witnessed 30 faces appear and disappear.
Wow.
And these ones did appear in photographs. Then they decided that maybe they should build this family a new kitchen so that the investigations weren't taking over their life, so that they could have somewhat of a normal life while they were investigating.
Wow, that's great, yeah.
And the faces also appeared in the new kitchen.
Stop.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah. So in September 1973, they finally succeeded in completing an experiment. They sealed the room appropriately in the presence of a notary, students, and a TV film crew. Hooray! Faces changed and disappeared, but the photos were bad quality, so no conclusive evidence could be gained from them.
Okay.
So theories. I know it was kind of short, but theories.
It's okay. Yeah, it's good to talk about.
So one of the more interesting things I found was it being called a quote-unquote miracle. Which is something the Catholic Church does. So they'll determine if something's a miracle or not by their set of criteria, which is just ridiculous. Like they're the ones who get to say if something's magical or not.
They dictate what's
real magic and what isn't. So I just thought that was funny that they're the ones who get to determine what's a true miracle.
Right.
So they define a miracle as a sign or wonder, such as a healing or control of nature, which can only be attributed to a divine power. But they say that statues of Mary that cry blood are miracles, but somehow these faces are not. And I don't know if it's because it can't directly be tied to something religious.
Religious, right? I was just thinking that.
Some people think that these faces look like Jesus.
I mean, it's what is so cool is that I find these faces really look a lot different. All of them. Like none of them really look exactly the same. And isn't there like ones with even like multiple faces and even like bodies? You can almost see like, I think I remember one with like a woman and kids.
You can definitely see some of their body.
Yeah.
You can see in one of them, you can see hair. You can see neck,
Yeah,
shoulders,
I'm
and
gonna
even
look
like a neckline of a shirt, it almost looks like.
Oh my, wait, whoa, sorry. Backing up real quick. I accidentally just hit Google Images for ectoplasm. And I don't know if you've looked at these images,
Let me
but
see.
I know that we're getting off topic, but apparently
Oh, cool.
you can like physically see this,
Goo.
whatever
Ghost
that
goo?
is. So weird. That's something to look up if you're curious, ectoplasm
Yeah.
images. But yeah, I want to look at the faces as I
So
talk
I
about
tried
them.
to look up a complete listing of all of the faces, and I had a really hard time finding them. But yeah, there's like one of, it looks like families, and I could have sworn I remember something about them saying like the more she scrubbed, the like more sad the face got.
Looked? Oh
But I
my-
didn't see anything about that this time around, so I don't know if that was a different story or if that was just added somewhere along the lines, because the
Yeah.
research that I did came from like an actual research publication,
Okay.
just of the story and of the inconclusive findings, basically.
Right. I just am seeing like that iconic face, and I can see where the Jesus, I can see where they get it.
Yeah, but
and that
none
one,
of the other ones.
right? None of the other ones
look like Jesus.
Right. They definitely all.
So maybe that's why it's not a miracle, because miracles only involve Jesus and Mary, I guess.
It's just like one of those things. Like what is it called when you see pareidolia?
Yes, pareidolia. Yes, thank
Pareidolia.
you, pareidolia. So that's the second.
Okay. But that
the
to me
second
is just
theory.
impossible. It can't be, because they're just way too defined. At least some of these faces are just so defined with like cheek
Yes.
structures
Wrinkles.
here, and yes, the eyes. Like, come on, that one right there, the one that does resemble Jesus.
So pareidolia is the tendency to perceive a specific, often meaningful image in a random or ambiguous visual pattern. And we do that all the time.
Yeah, we
People's
do.
brains are wired to see patterns, but this, if you Google it, this is not that.
no,
This is
yeah.
a very clear image, and it just appeared. It wasn't like
Right.
it wasn't just like a spot on the floor that maybe kind of looks like a face. This happened all over the house.
Right. This wasn't like spills of something that had acquired into these. Like, there's just absolutely no way with how clear these features are on these faces. You could not convince me that was pareidolia.
Yeah, and they look sad too. They all look. None of them are smiling.
Yeah, you're
None
right.
of them are happy.
I mean, yeah, they definitely don't look happy. That's for sure.
I wish there were more pictures of them. It seems like for as many as they say, and they said that there's no record of exactly how many faces appeared and disappeared.
There's so many. Yeah. It's funny because I'm looking at Maria Gomez's face right now, and I'm like, I kind of see a resemblance in some of these faces a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Weird, right?
Right.
What if now, backtracking real quick, I know we're talking about theories, but is this still a tourist attraction to this day? Do you
Yes.
know? Wow, that's awesome. That's really awesome. So people can actually go in and they can visualize faces.
Yes.
Still there.
Yes.
That's so cool.
So one of the other theories is that Maria had the ability of thoughtography, which is burning images from the mind into a physical surface, usually film. And this is what Argumosa believed. So he believed that she had this ability to burn images onto a surface just from her mind, despite the fact that they found bodies, despite that they had these EVP recordings, and despite interviews from the people of Belmez who revealed that there's always been paranormal activity in that area, and that this paranormal activity related to a familicide that happened in the 1600s where 5 people were murdered in the home.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
So I just thought it was interesting that, I guess his conclusion was probably based off of evidence, because that doesn't, how do you investigate something like that? You can't, there's no way that you can directly point to just say, oh, these faces appeared because these people were murdered here. Like, there's no direct correlation.
Right. Like, is it a coincidence? I mean, I don't know. Hearing those sounds of, like, sounds like, honestly, souls in hell, really make you think something else is up. But again, is that 100% accurate? And can you really make any kind of decision based off of that? I don't know,
So there was another guy named Ted Serios.
What did Ted do? I love the name Ted, by the way. Teddy Theo. Yes, love that name. So cute.
He was also known for this ability. He was able to supposedly burn thoughts onto Polaroid film.
Wow.
He was studied extensively for 3 years straight and was very rarely able to produce an actual image.
That is so
But
weird.
He did do it
but
a couple times. Huh. Yeah.
But the thing is, when she died, they continued after she died.
Supposedly.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That was chalked up to hoax.
Yeah, but a lot of this is so much back and forth because the press was so pretty much forced to report that it was hoaxed, even when it wasn't.
Right.
There was no firm proof that it ever was.
Because they were like ever changing. So did that stop when she died? I would be curious about. Like how they were continuously changing.
I believe so.
So interesting.
They stopped when she died.
Wow.
Except
they stopped
for
changing.
like what they said about the hoax in a different house. Right. But that's probably just somebody trying to make money.
Wow. Yeah. It's unreal. There's even like a full body one that is a woman.
I saw that.
Like, you can clearly tell it's a woman. And then that like face underneath her is really disgruntled.
Yeah.
Either she's sitting on him and he's like, he can't breathe.
And she's like naked too.
Yeah, she is. He doesn't look happy about it.
No.
Sorry about that, dude.
Strange.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's very strange. No way that's pareidolia to me. I'm sorry.
So there are cool pictures of Ted Serios's thoughtography.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is very clear images. I mean, I don't think he could do it all the time. And they said that he was like drunk all the time. I don't know his full story. But there are clear images that are not pareidolia.
Huh.
There's a photo of a hotel that was real. They were able to figure out what the hotel was. There's images of cars and things like that.
That is so cool. Wow. Yeah. What are you leaning towards for the Belmez Faces? Like, what do you think, really?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was a combination of both. Maybe she was a medium and she was picking up on, whatever was going on in the house. And she, under hypnosis, said that, I think it was under hypnosis, something about she was burning images of her family that had been killed in a civil war. And that's why there were so many different ones. But it's like, why? Like, is it just because you're feeling that energy so strong and it just comes out somewhere? Is that what that is?
Yeah, man. She definitely could have been like contributing to bringing these faces out somehow without even knowing it, maybe, or maybe she did know it and she wanted to keep it a mystery. That'd be cool.
What's that called poltergeist?
Yeah.
It reminds me of poltergeist, where the phenomena follows one person because it's their energy and it's not necessarily an outside thing. It's like maybe you have these powers that you don't know how to harness and you don't even know that you're doing it. And that's why cabinets are flying open and bird cages are getting punched and shit. And
that was real. Yeah.
We should talk about that story sometime.
Totally. We should absolutely talk about our own crazy stories. We have plenty of them.
Yeah, we should.
Right?
Katie saw a bird cage get punched by a...
it was my bird cage. It was a fake bird cage, though. It was from a wedding shower, actually. It was for my cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was punched by some kind of force. That's
So
for sure.
interesting. Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about that.
That's so cool.
But yeah, it makes you wonder, like, maybe she had some kind of power that she just, I
Yeah.
don't know, but it's so random. Like, why? I don't know, just why?
Right. Why? So, yeah, it's just a mystery. It's just a mystery.
Okay, so I found the EVP recording on YouTube. So we'll play it now. Okay, so what did you think of that?
Wicked creepy. I had goosebumps. I could definitely hear multiple different voices, like different sounds in that. Very creepy. What did you think?
I'm gonna have to be the skeptic again, as always.
Did you think it was wind?
I mean, I don't know what it was. It sounded to me like just background noise. I feel like it's one of those things, like I said before with the EVP, that you can hear what you want out of it. If I, put myself in the space of like, oh, this is so creepy, this is what they heard in this house with all these faces, like, yeah, it's creepy as fuck. But just in general, I don't really get much from it. I don't really think, I can definitely see why somebody would think it was creepy.
When you listen to it, so you do get creepy vibes when you listen to it. It's not like a positive, pleasant sound, that's for sure.
No, but I get creepy vibes because of the situation. If somebody just played that for me and didn't tell me what it was, I probably wouldn't think anything of it.
Oh, see, I definitely have different view on that for sure. Like, I feel like if I had that in my ears as headphones, if I had headphones in my ears and I was listening to that, I would feel like I was there in hell.
All right, let's play it one more time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad we just listened to it again. I pointed at the part I saw you nod. Like, there was just that one part towards the end that it almost sounds like a crying, like a wail, like a misery kind of, like, yeah.
Yeah, toward the end you can definitely hear it sounds like a lot of different voices, like, But
again, yeah.
You ever see those Facebook videos where it's like, what is that? What are the two words?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
yes.
You can hear what you're listening
100%. Like, what you're reading, you're hearing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's something like that, like audio pareidolia or something.
Yeah, man, definitely. Can't rule it out. So.
But yeah, I can definitely understand why that would be creepy, especially if you're sitting in a silent room,
right?
And you record that and you listen back, like, what the fuck? Like, that's scary.
Really, especially knowing that there was dead bodies. I mean, it's not a common occurrence that there's dead bodies under houses. Like, it's not. Right. So we don't know. It's like that's why we don't know. We don't have dead bodies under our houses. So
well, I do. Did I tell you that story?
Oh, I thought we weren't going to talk about the victims of you.
No, they're not my victims, as far as everybody knows, but no, I had ghost hunters come here. Did I ever tell you this story?
Right. Yeah, you're gonna tell them the episode and everything.
Yeah,
no, don't tell.
Sometime we'll talk about it. But yeah, they told me that I had bodies in my basement. I'm like, okay,
that's great. Yeah.
Also, not scared at all during that whole thing. It was like creepy because it's supposed to be creepy, and all the lights were off, and it was loud as fuck. So it was like,
were you on TV?
Yeah, it was. Well,
is so cool.
They blurred us out, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
I'll send you the video.
Yeah.
But it's like they did the same thing with like EVP recordings,
and they'll be like, "Oh, did you hear that?" They'll be like, "The woman just said get out."
Yeah, and it's like, and then they were like, you'd hear like just random words, and it would be like demon, and they'd be like, "Oh God, oh,"
and they'll get a headache, demon. And they'll be like, "The demon's here." I'm not trying to mock anybody here, because
it was ridiculous.
Well, you lived it, so you can't,
Just like. No, whatever. To each their own. Like, you believe what you believe. But if you don't believe it, it takes no Like,
Right.
I put no stock in it at all.
Right.
But I mean, on some level I do, because I had them come here. So
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, I was thinking that you initiated
Yeah.
it, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
So it was interesting. It was a good experience.
So cool.
Like real life horror movie.
Now
like
I'm looking
living
around
it.
in the dark
I know.
rooms and I'm
well,
like,
you saw a ghost in here
who's
before,
looking
didn't
at?
you?
I think it was like a ghost animal, wasn't it?
I don't know. Like you, so when the first time you came here, you were sitting there and you were like, I saw something over there. Remember that?
Yeah, I thought it was a ghost animal.
In the
now
death corner.
Now you're
over there.
freaking me out. I don't remember. I don't recall.
I live here.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
At night.
I'm leaving you.
In the woods.
Here, in the woods at night. Oh, man.
I would live in a haunted house.
You would.
But isn't your house haunted?
Well, the house I grew up in, I believe. Oh, the house I grew up in, I believe. Yes, but the house I'm in now, I'm in the clear. So it clearly wasn't a poltergeist or anything attached to me.
Yeah, unless you have an EVP recorder.
You know, I wouldn't put it past me to get one of those. It might be on the Amazon save for later list.
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie.
We should do that. We should start like an Amazon wish list
Let's
for our
do it.
podcast.
Let's go. We should. Let's take our EVP recorder to like cemeteries.
Yeah, and I can get my big microphone, my big news reporter microphone and a trench coat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we
Soon,
can wear
coming
those.
soon, guys. Coming soon.
Oh, we
So-
have so much to look forward to. We're having
Yes.
so much fun with
I
this.
know, I'm so pumped.
This is so fun. It's like the funnest hobby. Well, for you can cut that out. It's not really
Why?
a hobby.
It's a hobby.
Okay.
It's the funnest hobby.
It's the funnest hobby. It is. But we really look forward to recording, and we hope that you really liked this story.
I hope so. Are we gonna tell them what the next one is, or are we still keeping it a secret?
We're keeping it a secret.
Okay, still a spooky.
Maybe
secret.
we'll send them a little like hint again, maybe
Yeah.
through like the Facebook page. So we have a Facebook page now.
Yes, we do.
So if you want to follow us or like us or whatever the hell it is on the page.
We're also on YouTube.
We're on YouTube. Someday we'll have video of us, but not yet. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot to
Yeah.
take on. But if you like or what is it? Subscribe? Is that what they say now?
Yeah, like or subscribe, comment
Yeah.
below.
Yeah. So do that. Even if like you don't want to watch the whole YouTube video, just
Yeah.
like mute it and keep it up because it'll show as a view for us. So that would be really helpful.
Thanks.
To like pretend like you
Not to
actually-
ask for a lot, you know, like
pretend like you actually watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have Facebook and Instagram now, and more to come when we start investigating real cool stuff like nearby.
I feel really bad because I didn't even know we had an Instagram.
Oh yeah, we have an Instagram.
Oh, thanks for telling me.
I think I did.
I don't think so. I mean, I know we're like everywhere already.
Yeah.
So, and we're only on our episode 3. And bear with us, guys, because like we said, it's all new and we're trying to get the feel for it. But I think we're doing great.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So.
Yeah. So we'll be back in 2 weeks with
2 weeks.
another exciting, mysterious story. And it'll be my turn. And we might even start some like mysterious news or
Oh yeah, send us mysterious news or like, interesting news.
weird news. Yeah.
Weird
Like
news. Yeah,
we might start that. We don't know.
yeah.
Right.
I think we should
Yeah. Just a little.
just add something to the beginning.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Thanks, guys. See you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay mysterious.
Mysterious.